Packers clips. Oh, no, it's the... Oh, is that...
Oh, my God, interception Packers, let's go!
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Welcome on into Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather. I'm Mike.
And I'm the Feather.
All right, and just a warning, folks, if I could flip that camera 180 degrees around, you'd see that the Feather is not only looking at the camera, he's looking past the camera because we are recording this during the live stream of the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers Thursday night game.
We'll see what happens. Like I said, as this podcast goes, you're going to see reactions live, either happy or sadness or anger. You never know.
And give you a heads up, this table might flip at any moment. In case, speaking of shorts, you saw this man last Sunday when I secretly recorded him leaping, hit his own Lambo leap right out of the chair through the Westgate Sportsbook when the Packers they were taking over that game. So anything is possible on this podcast, so stay tuned today. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you folks, if this is your first time here, welcome in. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you are interested in seeing this content, which is out at least twice a week, please make sure you click the subscribe button down below. And if at any point you feel the urge to show us how much you enjoy the content, please click that thumbs up button. It really just goes a long way to the YouTube algorithm, knowing that people want to see what we're putting out there. So with that said, we are going to go. We got 5 straight picks and 4 parlays. These are the Feathers taking to the bank picks for the week.
That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Take that, Jared Goff. Woo!
You can't see it. My dog is now going crazy, wondering what's happening.
Boom!
That's staying in the broadcast, just so you know. So let's get into it now that we're happy that the Packers have the ball. The first pick you have for this week, it is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the first of the London games this year, 9:30 a.m. Eastern start time, which means 6:30 a.m. for those of you on the West Coast.
Yep. All right, guys. Falcons, Jaguars. It's going to be at Wembley Stadium in London this week. The Jags are very familiar with that. They've now played. This is going to be their 10th game in London. They are 4-5 at this point. Calvin Ridley, huge matchup for him. He faces off against his former team, so that's going to be an interesting dynamic as well. Desmond Ridder, man, that guy is a punching bag. He literally got sacked 7 times last week by Detroit, and it's not going to get any easier with this top defensive front for Jacksonville. They are a solid defense by far. So, and as far as that goes, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. Now you got, this is a top 10 rush defense versus a top 10 rush offense. So we're going to find out, Bijan Robinson of Atlanta, he's a solid player. And he brings a lot to the table. Probably right now the best running back in the league is kind of the consensus. It's very early, but super talented, game changer. We're going to find out if that Jacksonville rush defense is going to be able to handle him or if it's going to be a rough sledding for that defense. The passing game for Atlanta is non-existent. So as far as that goes, that's going to be tough. They're going to have to really change what they've been doing to get it done in the passing game. And bottom line is, my pick, Jacksonville, 4 units, baby. We're going to go 4 units in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm very confident in them. They're going to knock down the win. It's Jacksonville -3. Take it to the bank. Absolutely love the pick. So make sure you wake up bright and early and watch Jacksonville get it done in Wembley Stadium, London. Boom.
All right, let's look at our next one. This is another 1 p.m. Eastern time game. This is the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. This is another 1 p.m. Eastern time game. The Bills are looking more like the Bills of old. The Dolphins look like they can score on you without even blinking twice, revitalizing and finding brand new running backs to score on you. So what say you on Dolphins at Bills?
Yeah, this game is epic. Probably the best matchup of the week. Buffalo has seemed to find their footing after a sluggish week 1 where they got upset against the New York Jets. And now they seem to be back on track as they just beat down the Washington Commanders. Sacked them over and over again. I think 7 or 8 sacks they put on Washington's quarterback, Sam Howell. So on the other side of the ball, I mean, you got Tua, Jalen Waddle, you got Raheem Mostert. These guys are playing great. Just ask the Denver Broncos as they hung 70 on them last week. But this is a different team they're facing. And the bottom line is this Bills defense is very stingy. Tyreek Hill, in his last 5 regular season games against the Buffalo Bills, has like 28 receptions, 221 yards, and only 1 touchdown. That's holding him down. That might as well be 0 for that guy because that's nothing for him. He's done well in the playoffs, but not so much in the regular season last 5 games. Also one to watch is the matchup with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, the safety tandem for Buffalo. They are going to definitely try to shut down Jalen Waddle as long as he plays. Jalen Waddle's in concussion protocol. He has not been cleared yet, so it's up in the air if he's going to play. But I think those 2 guys most likely will be able to hold down Tyreek Hill again. Buffalo, as far as that goes, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are back on track. They're playing great together. Beginning of the year, a lot of controversy saying that they weren't on the same page. Stephon Diggs wanted to be traded, and him and Josh Allen were kind of fighting. That's no longer an issue. I think Buffalo D is going to get to Tua. Tua spent the first 3 games barely getting touched, and that's going to change. I think Buffalo is going to have him on his back a few times. He's going to take multiple sacks, and that's going to be huge. Minus 2.5 Bills. Buffalo is just going to be too much this year at home. It could be a different story when it's back in Miami.
Do you think Tyreek Hill is going to be careful now to save himself for his future career?
As what?
You saw the articles, right?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
No.
you didn't see this. He says he's just joking, but Tyreek Hill the other day said he's considering a career in porn after his football career.
Oh my.
He's already gotten offers from certain porn stars to help him get into the industry, but I do believe he was joking. But you never know, right? Because if you're not saving those NFL dollars, you may have to do some work afterwards.
You call him the cheetah, so hopefully he's not fast in that department.
Let's go to the next one. All right, next up, we have another 1 p.m. Eastern Time game. It is the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Browns are minus 2.5. Feather?
Yeah, this is another big, huge rivalry game. The Browns are surprising people this year. The defense is unbelievable. They lost Nick Chubb earlier in the year, and that's a devastating loss for the year. He's a franchise quarterback, one of the best in the league, if not the best running back in the league. Yeah, all I can say is that the Ravens, they're struggling in the running department themselves. They've taken a bunch of hits in the running back department injury-wise. So both teams in that department are searching for a running game. Lamar Jackson, who's really the only true running back for the team right now, they are searching as well for a passing game because Lamar Jackson's not passing so well. He's had his share of struggles. The one bright spot has been Zay Flowers, rookie wide receiver. He's been really solid. Outside of that, Odell Beckham Jr. is still banged up and really can't get on the field. And they're facing other injuries as well in the wide receiver department. So right now, that's big problems. Myles Garrett is a beast. Zadarius Smith is unbelievable as well. And I think that they're going to really put the hurt on Lamar Jackson. He's taken his share of sacks this year already. And I think that he's going to take a bunch more in this particular game as well. Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson, Elijah Moore, this offense has a lot of potential. Elijah Moore was traded last year from the Jets to the Cleveland Browns, and he is looking good, and I think he could be a really strong weapon for the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's kind of still working through some things, and one of the best games he had all last year was against the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to need to duplicate that this year as well if he plans on getting a W at home. But I absolutely do agree that is exactly what's going to happen. The Cleveland Browns, 2 units. We're going to take it to the bank. Cleveland Browns, 2 units, minus 2.5. The dog pound is going to be too much for this Ravens team. I just don't see Lamar Jackson playing as well as he needs to win the game. Mark Andrews has been kind of, fairly quiet, compared to what he normally is. I just don't see a path for the Baltimore Ravens to get it done in this game. Cleveland's going to win this game, and I think they're going to win it by 7+ points when it's all said and done. So you can take that to the bank. Cleveland Browns -2.5.
It is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Houston Texans. Steelers are favored by 2.5, and I actually have a little fun fact for this one. Mike Tomlin is 24-4 against rookie quarterbacks. Not sure if that's going to factor into your decision, but I thought that's kind of an interesting stat. He knows how to probably screw with the young guys a little bit.
Yeah, he has a lot of success against the young quarterbacks, just like one Bill Belichick. So both of them are veteran coaches, and they definitely know how to shake the trees of these young QBs and welcome into the league. It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, the Texans shocked the Jaguars last week and just whipped them. Like, beat the brakes off completely, just crushed them, humiliated them at their home. And I don't know what to think about the Texans right now. C.J. Stroud is a young rookie quarterback that is playing great. He's got two really up-and-coming young receivers that are playing it great as well, Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Both guys are coming out strong in the first 3 weeks. The rushing game with Damian Pierce and supporting cast is pretty non-existent, and their defense is pretty, it's mediocre to poor, leaning towards poor. They also have a lot of injuries that they're dealing with as well. So the combination of that, spells kind of doom against a good offense. Now, Pittsburgh has been anything but a good offense with Matt Canada, their offensive coordinator, which if you're a Steelers fan, you definitely have some ill will towards Matt Canada and what he's done for that team so far. Last week, he actually put together something that looked pretty decent against the Raiders. I don't know if that's going to continue or not through the whole year, but I think in this particular game, with Kenny Pickett, looking decent at quarterback, and George Pickens kind of coming into his wide receiver one role since the loss of Deontay Johnson occurred a couple of weeks back, and he's on the IR. I have, the Pickett to Pickens connection seems to be working out pretty good right now, and young wide receiver Calvin Austin III, he actually has kind of stepped up to take the number 2 role, considering that Allen Robinson, who joined the team this year, has not stepped up, and he's kind of done very little in the last couple weeks. Hopefully he'll be looking to change that as well. But for the time being, the key to this team and their defense is centered around T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt is an absolute beast, and he's going to be a game changer, and I think he's going to welcome that young rookie quarterback into the league with a couple hits and probably multiple sacks as well. Minkah Fitzpatrick secures the backfield and is a killer good safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that he's going to shut down some of those young wide receivers. And in the end, when it's all said and done, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to get it done. They're going to cover the 2.5 for 2 units. I absolutely love the Steelers to get the 3-1 and make things happen. So yeah, Steelers -2.5, take it to the bank. Boom.
All right, last one for the straight picks of the week. We have another 1 p.m. Eastern Time game. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. Bengals are favored by 2.5, and these are two teams that are running neck and neck for being as equally mediocre as possible, statistic-wise. Each team is allowing even the exact same number of points at 22.3 points a game from their opponent. So what was your thought process on this one, trying to figure out which of these two juggernauts would have the Feathers pick of the week?
Well, basically, the Titans are just an absolute dumpster fire. We'll start there. I mean, their offense is terrible. Their defensive backfield literally could not stop a Pop Warner football team. I mean, it's literally, they give up a ton of passing yards, and just their passing defense is non-existent. Derrick Henry, he's living proof right now. Father Time catches up. Derrick Henry, who was like immortal the last X amount of years and just ran over people, he's showing his age a little bit, and I think it might be coming to the end for his career because he's not getting it done right now. It's early, but I think that, like I said, he's worn out a little bit, and it's showing. DeAndre Hopkins can't be a happy camper. He came over from Arizona, a really bad program, and he's kind of walked into the same situation where he's not getting the ball and Ryan Tannehill just can't seem to get it done, period. So the Bengals D literally terrorized Matt Stafford and the Rams last week, and that's not going to change this week. That Bengals defense is going to be ferocious, and they're going to get it done this week in Tennessee, regardless of Joe Burrow and his injury situation. He's banged up, but I think he's going to be able to get it done with Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, T. Higgins. This offense is dynamic, and as long as Joe Burrow stays upright, which I know a lot of people are wondering if he's going to be able to do that, they're going to be fine. And I believe in this game, they will have him upright the whole game, and he will get it done. The Bengals are going to win this game. They're going to cover the 2.5. We're going to go 2 units on this one. I love it. The Bengals are going to right the ship and get back on track and get back into the battle for the division. And I believe that Joe Burrow is going to eventually get healthy. You know, he's a young guy. He'll bounce back, and all will be well. So that's how I feel about that.
All right, and now continuing something we started last week, a new little segment. We have the Feathers, Teasers, and Parlays of the Week.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm really pumped up about this segment, Teasers and Parlays of the Week. I have 4 of them for you, 4 teasers, and let's get it going right away. First one, we got 2-team 6-point teaser. I got the Vikings. They're at -4. We're going to tease them down, and the Vikings will be +2. Second team, I got the Eagles. They're at -8. We're going to tease them down 6 points to -2. So we got the Vikings +2, Eagles -2. I love that teaser. Kirk Cousins is going to get back on track. They're 0-3. They're definitely struggling. They need the win. A lot of rumors swirling around Kirk Cousins could be traded soon. This offense is too potent not to get it done against a team that is very mediocre in the Carolina Panthers. The Eagles as well, playing Washington. I don't see any path where the Eagles at home are not going to win by at least 2 points. They should win by double digits, especially after what we saw out of Washington last week when Sam Howell was on his back pretty much the entire game and their offense was stagnant. So I'm loving that 2-team teaser. That's number 1. Second teaser, 2-team 6-point teaser as well. This one, the first one is Cowboys. They're 6.5-point favorites. We're going to tease them down 6 points to Cowboys -0.5 point. So they basically just got to win the game to satisfy that pick. Secondary one is the Eagles once again, -8. We're going to tease them down to -2. I spoke on that the last pick why I like the Eagles. So that's a 2-team teaser. Recapping 2-team 6-point teaser. We got the Cowboys -0.5 and the Eagles -2. All right, guys, the third teaser I have for you today is a good one. We got the Rams +1. We're going to tease them up to +7. I really like them a lot against the Colts. Richardson, the quarterback for Indianapolis, is going to be out again. It's going to be Minshew, Gardner Minshew at QB, and he's not going to cut the mustard. Aaron Donald and that defense is going to be too much for this Colts team that played way over their heads last week against the Ravens, I believe, but it's going to come down to earth this week as Matt Stafford, a wily veteran that's going to get it done with his young receiving core that has stepped up in the absence of one Cooper Kupp. So I definitely like the Rams +7 with the 6 points. Secondary, the second pick is the LA Chargers. The Chargers are 5.5-point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders. And as far as that goes, we'll tease it down. It'll be Chargers +0.5 point. And with Jimmy Garoppolo most likely not playing in this one, that's going to pretty much seal the fate of the Raiders. The Chargers are very poor when it comes to defending the rush. And Josh Jacobs is a guy that could definitely disrupt that situation. But so far, he's been pretty quiet on the year. And the Raiders have just struggled with their coach, who's been very poor. Josh McDaniels has been very poor, to say the least. So as far as that goes, Rams +7, Chargers +0.5 point. Love that one. All right, and my fourth and last teaser of the day, it's a 5-team teaser, and it's a 5-team 7-point teaser. Very important, 5-team 7-point teaser. First team, the 49ers are 14-point favorites. We're going to tease them down to 7, and I love them this week against Arizona. They're in San Francisco. Arizona is not going to pull any upsets or shenanigans against this San Francisco team. They are not the Cowboys. They are going to be better than the Cowboys. Second pick, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. They're minus 9.5. I'm really liking the Chiefs this week. They're playing against a Zach Wilson quarterback in the Jets that it is a mess. What's going on in New York is a mess right now. They just were heartbroken. And when Aaron Rodgers went down, and it's just nothing but fighting and bickering. And, you know, right now Robert Saleh, the head coach, is trying to have this unified front supporting his quarterback, but it's kind of creating a lot of friction within the team because they see their season that had Super Bowl hopes just going down the drain. So all that said, now they get to host Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs. The spread is 9.5. We're going to take the 7 points. We're going to tease it down to minus 2.5 in favor of the Chiefs to cover, and they are absolutely going to smash that 2.5. Third pick, how about them Cowboys? We're going to put them in there. They should have a better time this week. They're playing against New England in Dallas, but they definitely got to bounce back. Dallas, their defense is too good to not bounce back from this situation. Dak Prescott has been a question mark. I mean, besides CeeDee Lamb, no one else has really stepped up. Tony Pollard's been okay from the 20 to the 20, but inside the 20, he hasn't done a whole lot. But I do believe Dallas at 6.5 tease it down to plus 0.5, and tease it down to minus 0.5 point for Dallas. I absolutely think they're going to win. I think that the offense of New England is still a little bit suspect, and I don't think they're going to have the firepower to keep up with Dallas in this one. So the Cowboys minus 0.5 point is a no-brainer. Next pick, Eagles, teasing it down from minus 8 to minus 1. We don't need to say anything more about that. We've already talked about them in 2 prior teasers. And the final one, Minnesota Vikings, minus 4. With the 7 points, it's going to be plus 3. And I absolutely love them at the plus 3. They're going to win that game outright, but they're sure going to definitely plus 3 is a foregone conclusion. Easy peasy. That's the last of my teasers. 5, like I said, a 5-team, 7-point teaser. And let's get it done. Let's get this money on these teasers and go on from there.
All right, that's going to do it. I learned 3 things this week. 1, I'm getting better with the editing. And for those who don't know, we film and edit this show all within the same 6-hour time frame. So obviously we want to get this stuff out as fast as possible. 2, don't do podcasts with you when the Packers game is on, because this has been a challenge, but the man's focus was there. Hopefully you guys got some interesting picks. We're giving you the Feather's best opinion. It's up to you if you want to fade or fly with those picks. That's why we call the show Fade or Fly. I am going to get into the lab and start editing and correcting some of the mistakes I know I made in this show. Hopefully you've seen the quality improving week to week. And if you have and you want to show your appreciation again, we'd love a thumbs up on this video and give us a chance to give you more content week after week by subscribing down below to be notified when the new content comes out. I'm going to bail on this one. I'll leave it to you to say goodbye. I'm going to get to editing. Anything else for the folks?
Yeah, guys, as always, come on down Sunday to the Westgate. It's going to be an early one this week, 6:30 in the morning, West Coast time for that game to kick off, which means way earlier than that I will be there. And
I will bring you tea and crumpets so you feel like you're in Wembley Stadium.
I'll take some tea and crumpets. Absolutely, that sounds good.
Have you ever had a crumpet?
I have not, but I'm sure it's tasty because I do not shy away from food. So anyway, guys, it has been a little bit of a frustrating podcast because we did make the mistake of having the Packer game staring right at us, give a little live action to you guys, reactions, and it started out good, and it's gotten ugly ever since. So hopefully things turn around for my Packers.
I do want to mention, it's been in the comments, and starting after this week, yes, I will be putting the tally so far of the picks for the season up. I haven't gotten a chance to go back through and do it properly, but so we'll tally up the first 4 weeks in Tuesday's show, and we will start keeping a permanent track from there as well for those who are asking.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Take it to the bank. Boom.